Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Lily, and I am so happy that you are here with me today because in today's video, we are going to repurpose some junk. And it is junk that I have left over from 2021. I have junk mail envelopes, well, junk mail that I want to go through to save the junk mail envelopes. And then I also have some packaging that I want to repurpose and turn it into a junk journal cover, because this one right here will have the perfect spine. And I have come to realize that I like the spine to be about 1.5 to 2 inches. So this box was absolutely perfect. I think it measures like 1 3/4. And then I also have some Christmas gift wrap left over. And this is a shirt box that I salvaged. And let's be honest, I salvaged all of them because I just couldn't get myself to throw them away, because I folded one to toss it in the garbage. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I can make a journal cover out of this. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to turn some trash into treasure. And now I won't be able to get everything done, but I'm going to get a lot done in this video. And when I first grabbed this shirt box, I actually thought about just folding it in half and calling it good, and maybe, lining it with some either junk papers or scrapbooking papers. But after I measured it, I realized it was too big. And what I want to do is work on my own personal junk journal for 2022. And this one was just larger than I like. So I'm going to stick to my favorite size, which is 9x6. That is the size I like to work with. But because I do have a lot of other shirt boxes left over, I may experiment and make a larger one just to kind of see how it turns out. So I thought that would be fun. I won't know unless I give it a try. So I thought that would be fun. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to cut it down to that 9x6 size. But I'm going to give it a spine that will be the 1 3/4. So it'll be about the same size as the packaging box. So as you can see here, it's going to be 6 inches across and 9 inches tall. And that spine is going to be 1 3/4, just a little bit under 2 inches. And I think that will be perfect for my own personal junk journal. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to make one, let's just make two. So I'm going to work on this one, and then up ahead, I will be working on the packaging box. So you can see I'm just wrapping it around the packaging because I want it to be approximately the same size. I'm not too exact with the sizing, but it is 9x6. And in order for me to get that 1 3/4 inch spine, I had to add 1 3/4 to the length of that shirt box. So if my front and my back cover are 6 inches wide, add 1 3/4 inches, and that'll give us 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 1 3/4, 13 3/4. Yes, I can add. By 9. So I measured 6 inches from each side in, and I am marking it. And now I just kind of drew some lines as a guide so that I can crease and fold right where I want that spine to be. And did you see that? I found my bone folder, and it was right where I put it, where all my other little tools are. Who would have thought? Now, I do have a scoreboard. Did I say score? I don't know what I said, but I meant to score it so that I can create the fold lines. Crease, I said crease. Crease, score, same difference. I do have a scoreboard. However, I wish I knew where it was. I don't know where it is. I set out to find it this morning because I have a few things in my parents' garage, but it was too cold and I wasn't bundled up enough to go through some of my boxes. But I wouldn't be surprised if I have it in storage because that's where I have the bulk of my things. So I needed to improvise, and that score line on the paper cutter is perfect. Now, I didn't crease too hard with the bone folder because I didn't want to tear through that shirt box. It's not a very heavy cardboard, but I didn't want to take any chances. So now that I've cut it down to size, I am going to line the inside with some scrapbooking paper. Now, I really did want this to be a true junk journal, but I also want to use up my stash. And I have tons of scrapbooking paper, and I need to use it because, like I've said in the past, we are no longer hoarding our supplies. We are going to use it or we are going to lose it. So let's use it. And so I'm just measuring so that I can cut down that scrapbooking paper. And did you see how beautiful that plaid is? Oh my gosh. So my sister sent me a picture of a junk journal that she worked on a few years ago. And she not lined, but the cover is of plaid fabric. And I said to her, I have to get my hands on some plaid fabric. But we're doing a no spend January. So I am going to just use what I have. And I found this beautiful plaid paper. And that paper pad that I took it from, I've had that for several years. And it's kind of beach theme, ocean theme, kind of surfer theme. And I love that paper pad. I don't think I've used any paper from it. So this is the first. And I just love it. I love the colors. It has like the aqua, marine, the blue, the turquoises, all of those shades of blue that I absolutely love. I struggle with the navy blue, but if there's a hint of it here and there, not a big deal. But I prefer like the aquamarine and the turquoise. So just trimming it down a little bit. I had trimmed it down to 9x6, but it was a little bit too big. So I'm just cutting it under 9x6, and then I'm going to glue it down. This video, you guys, started out at 45 minutes because I didn't have a plan. I knew I wanted to repurpose some packaging and some of that junk that I've been collecting, but I really didn't know what direction I was going in, and so I had to go in there and edit and take out a lot of the time that I spent cutting things down and just kind of sitting and waiting for some inspiration. And so I condensed it, and so it's now about 25 minutes long, but I try to go fast with my process. But I also want to share with you, what it is that I'm doing. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you find inspiration. If you're anything like me, I'm sure you've been collecting junk. And so 2022, we're going to put that junk to good use. So go grab your piles of junk, of packaging, of paper, whatever it is you're holding on to, and we are going to make beautiful things. We're going to turn our trash into treasure. And what I do want to do, aside from using up my stash, I also want to use a lot of those other junkier items that I have been collecting. So we'll see where it goes because I really don't know. But we're going to turn it into a journal and it's going to be amazing. And I haven't decided if I'm going to use this one for my personal junk journal or if I'm going to use the packaging. We'll see. But I need to start because there's a lot of things I already want to add to my junk journal and I don't have one yet. So I want to create this one I don't want to take too long with creating it. So I hope I get it done in the next couple of days. So I'm bringing you along with me for the ride. This is old cotton fabric that I avocado dyed a couple years ago. And so I'm just going to cut a strip of it and glue it down to the center. And I thought about maybe covering it also with some of that plaid paper, but I don't know. I thought the fabric would give it more flexibility. And it is so pretty. I don't know where the cotton fabric came from. I want to say it was something maybe I found here at my parents' house when I was here a couple years ago, or maybe even fabric my sister gave me. But I avocado dyed it and it turned out great. So just cutting it down so that I can glue it down. I also, and I don't show in this video, but I've also been saving a lot of acetate, plastic packaging. And I had a box full of it. So I don't show it in this video, but I trimmed it down to more manageable pieces so that I can make maybe little windows and maybe some clear acetate pockets. I don't know yet, but if I saved it, I'm going to use it, you guys. I had a fun time a couple years ago making a true junk journal, and it was a challenge that Pink Oddbird had done. I think it was like February of 2020, and so I joined that challenge and I made 2 true junk journals with nothing but junk, and I repurposed all kinds of things. I will link those videos down below, and then also if I find Pink Oddbird's video, I'll link hers as well. But if you're familiar with her, you know, she is a master at repurposing junk. And so I loved that challenge. So I want to do something like that too. But now that I have more supplies here, I want to be able to use my stash as well. The challenge that she had, I used nothing but junky items. And so that was so much fun because it's a challenge. That's exactly what it is. But you become more creative with ways to repurpose those junky items. So it's always lots of fun, and you draw inspiration from all kinds of things to create who knows what from the junky items we collect. So I really love how the inside turned out. Those colors look so good together. Might be a little bit hard to pick it up in the camera, but they're so beautiful. And so this is the box of packaging, and I have been holding on to this box for how long? Maybe 6 or 9 months. Yeah, it's been a while. But it feels really good. It's nice and sturdy, and so I knew it would make a perfect junk journal cover. I also have some food packaging boxes that I'm going to work on. And those I had already trimmed down last year. And so those are boxes that I've already kind of cut down to size to use as a junk journal, but I set them aside. So I grouped all of those things that I've been collecting, and my goal this year is to use it up. So if I'm going to hoard things, maybe I'll put a sticky on there on the idea that, or the how I plan to reuse it, and that way when I finally get to it, I won't forget. The box is a little bit tall. I think it measured like 11 inches, so I'm going to trim it down so that it is also 9 by 6 once I'm done with it. So I'm just using the other one as a template, and I'm just going to trim off that excess, which looks to be about about 1.5 inches maybe. So just a rough line. Yeah, I really don't put much thought into this. I'm being super careful and I know what my measurements are, but I'm not being super precise because I want it to look kind of junky, but neat, but junky at the same time. So when you look at my journal, you can tell that I made it from junk. I was thinking about using that plaid paper and covering the outside of the cover, but I've not decided exactly what I'm going to do with the outside covers. So we will save that for a future video. And then I thought maybe I'll use different paper because that paper pad is full of beautiful papers. And I think it's called Pacific Coast, but I don't know who makes it. Excuse me. And then this one caught my attention because of what it says. Life. I'll show it to you right now. Life is just awesome. It is. We'll have our ups and downs, but at the end of the day, life is just awesome. And when we wake up in the morning, we're given another 24 hours to make it amazing. That's all I have to say about that. But look at that with the rays, and I just love it. So I decided to use this scrapbooking paper to line the inside of that Dove packaging box. So again, just trimming it down to about 9 by 6. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing I did with the other one. Just line the inside. And I had totally forgotten that I had this paper pad. So I spent a little bit of time today going through the things that I do have that I unpacked in the little drawers and organizers that I have where I keep my paper and my supplies. I spent a little bit of time going through all of my things again, opening up the drawers and just familiarizing myself with my stash. And I had my sister on the phone as I was doing this, and it was like Christmas all over again. I found things that I forgot I had. So my tip for you today is go through your stash, open up a random drawer, grab a random box, however it is you store your items, and just thumb through it so that you don't neglect or forget all of those treasures that we have. So I found some really cool treasures today, things that I forgot that I had made. Also, unfinished projects. So I took some of those and I set them aside so that I can work on them as well. So that is maybe that should be like my motto for 2022. Get it done. All those unfinished projects and all those things we've been saving for the future. This is the future. Today is the future. What does Tim Holtz says? Remember the now. This is the now. This is the future. You know, we need to, if we're going to create, we need to do it today. So doesn't that look so pretty? The inside of that is going to look so nice. And again, thinking about what I'm going to do to the inside of the spine. You see, I wanted to use some paper, but I really like the way the fabric looked on the inside and how it adds, it makes it flexible, but it also adds, what's the word I'm looking for? Not durability, but Reinforcement. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for helping me out. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I am recording this on what is today, January 11th, and hope to have this up, if not on the 11th, hopefully by the 12th. I got a little bit busy too with my work today, but I am really enjoying my new job and learning so many things, and how to be more thorough and more efficient when it comes to my real estate transactions. So yes, I'm excited about that. I came across a channel name. I haven't gone in to look to see if she has any content, but I came across and I made a little mental note to go look for her again. I think she's called, oh my gosh, The Crafty Realtor. Yes, The Crafty Realtor. And I'm like, oh, that's my kind of girl right there, because I'm a crafty realtor too. But her channel title is The Crafty Realtor. So I will try to remember so I can go look her up again and see if she has any content and say, hello, friend. Hello, fellow crafty realtor. So yeah, serious business during the day. But at night, after hours, this is what we do for fun. It's what I do for fun. As I was putting this fabric down and gluing down those edges, the thought of stitching it came to mind. And so I will probably end up doing that off camera. Just run a stitch all along the border of the cover. But I won't do that until I figure out what I'm going to do to the front cover. Maybe I'll add fabric. I have a few fabrics in my stash that I've been collecting for a while. Some of them that I bought new a while back, and then others that I picked up at thrift stores, and then some that has been given to me. So I may go with fabric. I wish I had some like upholstery fabric, and I really do want to run to Joann's or, to Michael's or Hobby Lobby where there's fabric and just get maybe half a yard. But no spend January is what we're doing. So I'm not going to do anything exciting with this junk mail other than open it. So I'm just going to take out the contents. Some of it is personal business that I need to go through, but the majority is junk, so I'm just going to set it aside. But I want to save the junk mail envelopes. And I was telling my sister I was going to do this, and she says, really? Because you don't think you have enough junk mail envelopes? I'm like, no, I just can't throw these away. Look at these perfect windows. And look at that perfect postage stamp that's already been endorsed. So, or canceled. Canceled, not endorsed. We endorse checks. We cancel stamps. So yeah, and I am going to coffee dye these and use them in these journals. I have others that I will also use, but these I will coffee dye and then and use them up. But I thought I would show you how I open them. Nothing thrilling, but how I save my junk mail and then go through, because I go through my mail every day, and then some things I set aside and save for later, and that's what I did here. And I thought, oh, I'll just show you how I open them while I'm working on these covers. And I have a letter opener, but it was on the other side, and I didn't want to get up and go grab it, so I just used my fabric scissors. But what do you do? they were right in front of me. So now they're paper scissors, fabric scissors. They're a good pair of scissors. I've had them for a really long time. So now that I've done that, I will set them aside and coffee dye them. Not sure what I'm going to do, but I like the windows, and they were free, and I'm going to use that. You guys, I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you put some of your own junky items to use, or just use up your stash to create some wonderful things. And yeah, so I will see you next time when I work on the outside covers. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Any questions or concerns, leave your comments down below. And I'm so happy that you are here joining me, you guys. It's going to be a great 2022. Thank you. I'll talk to you later, okay? You guys have a great day.